So mixed in with all of your apps on your device are a few new apps that you can use to be able to get help when you need it. So the first one here is iLearn. So let's say your iPad is having a problem or you need to schedule an appointment. I can tap on the iLearn button, and this takes me to the iLearn website where there's an option to schedule an appointment. So I would simply choose the day that I have an appointment, choose whatever time I would like to use, choose whatever time I'm available, and then make sure I enter my name, my email address, what problem I'm having, and what teacher you have during that appointment. So it's important to make sure that with any of these tools that you're making your teacher aware to make sure that this is a good time for you to be able to go. And then simply schedule that event. Once I do that, that will add the appointment to your calendar. And when that time comes to go to your iLearn appointment, simply let your teacher know. And as long as that time is still good, they will send you down to the iLearn Center to get your device looked at. Another tool, and this is a new tool we have this year, is the counseling request form. So if you need to meet with a counselor, I can click on the counseling request form. I simply make sure I've logged into my school Google account. If so, check the box, enter my first name and last name, and then which counselor I need to meet with, and then tell it to submit. This will automatically notify your counselor that you'd like to meet with them. Now, they will reach out to you and contact you to try to set up a time to talk. It's important to note that this is for non-emergencies only. If this is an urgent issue, then you need to make sure you're talking to the nearest adult. But if it's a non-urgent issue or maybe a scheduling issue that you need to talk to a counselor with, you can use this form to notify the counselor and they can contact you. Let's say you have an incident with another student. We have an online incident report. The incident report simply pulls up, again, asks you to log in, enters your name, date of the incident, time period, grade level, and then a description of that. Once you hit submit, this will get sent automatically to the correct principal, and they will contact you if necessary to discuss this incident. We also do the same thing with the nurse pass. The nurse pass is if you need to use the nurse, make sure first of all your teacher is aware that you are filling out a nurse pass, and as long as now is a good time, you fill out the teacher's name, your name, the phone extension of the classroom that you're in. Again, the teacher can tell you that when you ask your building, and then your ailment, and hit submit. This will automatically send a message to the school nurse, and then the school nurse will contact that classroom and request that you come down whenever they're available. Now, a couple other links that we have on here. There is a link to the Holmen website. Anytime you need to, you can click on this. This will take you directly to the Holmen website. Here you can find some news that's going on in the building, but then also quick links to a lot of commonly used systems that you may need access to. And then finally, there's also a link to what's called the password sign. We have a lot of different tools and systems here in Pattonville, and sometimes it's hard to remember which password you use for which system. This is a sign that kind of reminds you, depending on what system you're using, what the usernames and password formula is going to be able to log into those systems, depending on whatever it is that you need. So for example, if you're getting a pop-up message telling you need to sign into your Apple ID, this will tell you that your Apple ID password is your 6-digit birth date, and it gives you the correct format to be able to enter that in, to be able to log back in. So anytime you need access to that, you'll always find that here as well. Now, these shortcuts are what they call web clips, and you can actually make these yourself with any website. So if I opened up Safari and I go to a website that I want to save, so for example, here are our lunch calendars, which can be found on the Holmen website, but let's say I check this information a lot. So I could pull up today's lunch calendar and then hit my share arrow in the upper right-hand corner. And in my list of options, I have the ability to add it to the home screen. When I choose to add it to the home screen, it asks me to give it a name. Instead of calling it Nutri-Slice, I'm going to go ahead and call it Lunch Menus. And then I tell it to add. And what this does is this creates what looks like an app, feels like an app, but really is just a link to a website on my desktop. I could tap and hold and move it around, rearrange it, And then anytime I wanted to be able to get to it, I simply tap on it. It's going to open the internet and take me right to that site. So these are just a few other ways that you can use your iPad to get help.